Now then, it's JSB, Airguns and Stuff Yorkshire, and today we've got something that I've been waiting for. It is the JSB Hades in 2.2. They are a 5.50 head size. Not my recommended head size for my guns, but we're going to do a quick look over. We're going to briefly go over what they are, and then we're going to do some accuracy testing, and then I'm going to try my hardest to get these things to fragment. So yeah, let's do this. Alright, so what have we got? We have got the JSB Hades .22 Diablos airgun pellets. They are 1.03 grams, which is 15.89 grains, 5.5mm, which makes it a 22 caliber. You get 250 in a tin, and I don't know what M46-08 is. That's new to me. I'm probably going to have to look that up. When I find it, I'll put it somewhere. I don't think it's relevant. The only head size I could get, and the only tin that I could get, was 5.50, which is exactly 5.5mm on average. So we'll see how these fade up through my gun. Mine usually likes a 5.52 or a 5.53, but we're working with what we've got. Let's crack this tin open and have a look at the pellets themselves. Okay, so there's the pellets. They are very much like the JSB Exacts, but they've got a little design in the top which looks a little bit like a radioactive warning sign, and then in the middle of that there is actually a support pin. I'm not the king of focus, but we'll try and get some close up of these ones stood up. See if my camera will focus. There we go. Okay, so there's a little bit of a support in the middle, and then there's 3 fragmentable parts in there. They're a Diablo design, and they're pretty much the same as an exact Diablo. And I've had a look at quite a few of the pellets, and they do all seem to be pretty much identical. There's no, deformed pellets or anything like that, so the quality on these on a test tin are very good. So, what are these pellets, and why am I so interested in them? Well, they're a hollow pointy type fragmentable pellet. So they're a hunting pellet. They're going to be no good for target shooting, unless they are really good in your gun for target shooting. Let's get some focus. From what I've heard, the 3 parts that aren't cut out will break all the way open, and they'll double the size of the pellet on impact, which causes a lot more damage. And if you're shooting small game with these, it's going to ruin the day. Unfortunately, in the UK, we're limited to sub 12 foot-pounds, so fragmentables, hollow points, stuff like that, not as effective. But we're going to see if they are as effective as my favourite hollow point, which is this, the Predator POLYMAG, also in 2.2. I've done a review of these pellets, and the expansion on these is the best I have seen out of any hollow point. The accuracy is actually quite good through my Brocock Compato, up to about 30-35 yards, so well into the rabbit territory. This is the first tin that I bought, and with hunting obviously you don't use as many pellets, and that's basically what I've got left. So I have been using these, and I have been getting good results from them. And hopefully these are going to take over, because you don't have the plastic tip, hopefully you don't have the accuracy issues, and hopefully you get the expansion that you get from the POLYMAGs. Now, this is all going to be in testing, and the results obviously are going to be shown at the end of this video. So this is basically the boring part over. Yeah, you've seen them, you know what they look like. You know basically what they're going to do. You're going to shoot them at small animals and hopefully it's going to cause mass damage. I'm going to use my favourite medium, which is plasticine or clay, to try and capture them. I usually shoot about 10 yards, you know, just to see, because 10 yards, they're not going to drop any speed at that point. So yeah, I'm going to shoot some groups, going to put them up to my Brocock's favourite pellet, see how they fade. I don't have any JSB exacts, unfortunately, and before I go to the range I'm not going to be able to buy any, but I'm going to put them up against my Brocock's favourite pellet just as an accuracy reference. So we'll shoot some groups at various yards, we'll shoot some mediums just to see how they expand and if they do at all. So yeah, here comes the best bit. Let's go to the range. Alright, so down at the yard, I've just finished work. I went to a shop and I bought some modelling clay, so that's going to be fun. There's only one downside at the minute, and I'll just show you. It's for scope cam footage. Where I've decided to shoot, the sun's decided to set, so I'm getting a lot of glare through my scope at the minute. While we're at it, we'll go through equipment. Trusty old Brocock Compato, 0.22 obviously. I've got it with a suppressor on, the Nico Sterling Mountmaster 4x16 by 50 AO, because it's really good for night vision and stuff. It's got a really bold reticle for the night vision. Obviously pellet of choice, got the Hades. I've just done a bit of zeroing in because I've just put the scope back on here, and the first shot was what, about 4 inches to the right, and then 2 inches to the right, and then pretty much centre, and I can already tell you she's shooting bang on groups. But let's have a shoot of the plasticine while the sun sets a little bit, and then we'll shoot some proper groups at 30 yards. Okay, I just shot it with 3 of the JSBs and 3 of the Predator POLYMAGs. POLYMAG there doing quite a bit of damage. I've just been working this stuff and it's proper filthy on the hands, so I'm not going to rip it apart just yet. I'll wait until I get home where I can wash my hands because it's proper dirty stuff, but there's some pretty big holes in there. That POLYMAG in there has made a whopping hole. You can't see in it, but I'll put this in a bag because it'll probably dry out. I'll get it home and then open her up. This is going to be interesting. Okay, the first 4 groups on that box are the Hades, then the second were the POLYMAGs, and the last one that I shot is this gun's pellet of choice, the RWS Superfields. I really like these. The Brocock likes them more. Using the scope cam, eBay jobby, and I'm shooting that box there inside the pile of rubbish, and because the sun is just absolutely devastating at the minute, I haven't got time to wait for the sun to go down. I've got to go. But there you have, I think it's 60 consecutive shots, 30 or 40 of them through the scope cam. We'll get back to the studio and we'll measure the groups, and we'll have a look at the pellets inside the clay, and then I will make my mind up whether these are good for hunting or not. Alright. Okay, here's the clay. It's still very wet. I'm going to do my best to retrieve them and try and cut down the holes, see what the wound's like and compare them. But mainly, I just want to see what's happened to the pellet. Now, I've basically just taken these 2 parts apart, and I found this. It's turned over, and this is a POLYMAG. And look at the state of that. That's turned inside out. It's absolutely amazing. Second POLYMAG, about 1.5 inches deep. Let's take her out. Same again. Completely flat head. That is crazy. Third POLYMAG, same again, about 1.5 inches. And same again. So, as a ballistic medium, this clay is absolutely amazing. Okay, I found the first Hades is actually there, and as a comparison to the POLYMAGs and the Hades, focus goddamn you, it's about 1/2 inch, maybe 1 inch deeper. I haven't seen it yet, so we'll dig it out and have a look. Okay, there's the first one. It has opened up a little bit, one of the 3 more than the others, and it's flattened the head a little bit, but it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting some inside out action. Let's keep digging. Second Hades. This is the entry, and it's finished there. So quite deep, and it's covered in plaster or clay, but it's the same again. They've opened up a little bit. I'll just clean this off so we can have a look. Okay, same story. It's attempted to come apart. One of them is more than the other. They have opened up a fair amount, but they've just literally filled up with the clay and then just mushroomed a tiny bit. We'll compare them to some unfired ones in a minute to see the difference. Okay, pellet number 3, which is a Hades as well. Entry, resting point. We'll get it cleaned up and have a look at it. Same story. I would say this one has done a better job compared to the others. It has opened up a fair amount, but it's not quite what I was expecting. But, you know, this is sub 12 foot-pounds, and it's a kind of hard medium, but there's no excuses really when a POLYMAG's doing that. That's what I was expecting. But hey ho. Okay, groupings. This is my first shot when I was zeroing, second shot when I was zeroing, third hit here, and then I brought it up, went a bit too far, came back down. Then I shot this group and I realised that I'd come a little bit too far down, so it's about 10 shots in there. Just measure it. Oh. That's in millimetres. About ½ inch. .54. And that's at 30 yards. Okay, top left off of the scope cam. About 0.46, something like that. So ½ inch. This second one was 10 shots off scope cam, just measure that. Okay. So 0.79, we've got a flyer. Without the flyer, you're talking 0.6. So again, about ½ inch. This one up here was on the scope cam. Just measure this one. Okay. That's the same again. About ½ inch. Give or take. Then we have this one, and I'm guessing widest point roughly ½ inch. So these are grouping at ½ inch at 30 yards consecutively. Up over here is the POLYMAGs. So these two are the furthest spread, so we'll measure that now. Okay, now this is a different story. We have got 1.5 inches. So there's the accuracy issues with the POLYMAGs. That is a fair old spread, 30 yards. The majority of them in about 1 inch. There's one extreme, but that one extreme is the one that injures something. And now this is my preferred pellet. Its widest point, say there, that's sub ½ inch. Those pellets will do that all day long out of the Brocock Comparo. So the Hades are about on par with the RWS Superfields when it comes to accuracy at 30 yards. Right, so there you have it. The JSB Hades. Think of this as what you want. Obviously your barrel's going to be different to my barrel, but they're very accurate. So why not use them on small game? They attempted to fragment or mushroom or whatever you want to call it. I reckon on a softer medium they probably will, but only shooting small game is going to prove that. So I'm definitely going to be using them if I take the Brocock out hunting. Yeah, so they're the pellets. So thanks for watching. See you bye.